Alright everybody, as you can see, I now have 6,740 miles on this 2024 CX-5 to film this, and realized I need a haircut. You guys don't need to see this, so I'm gonna go get a haircut and I will be back. That's a little better. Hey everyone, welcome back to Drive It Out. My name is Adam, and this is episode 3 of my long-term review on this 2024 Mazda CX-5. My family and I have really come to enjoy this vehicle over the last 4 months. That's right, we've put almost 7,000 miles on this car in just 4 months. But you know what? We have been on a couple major trips. We went to Tulsa, Oklahoma and back, and we also went to Colorado, all around that state, and then back home. And as a reminder, we're here in Kansas City, Missouri. Now, I have confirmed some of the things that I thought about this vehicle, and I have also learned a few new things. So as I show you some footage from our trip here, let's go over some of those details. Let's start with the Colorado trip here. So it's about 9 hours from Kansas City, Missouri to Denver, Colorado, unless of course you have kids and you stop a lot. Then it's about 350 hours to get there. No, it didn't take that long, but we made it there before sunset. We needed the kids to get out there at the park and burn some energy, so we did that. It was a beautiful night, but it was time to go to bed, get ready for the next day. I was in town for my high school reunion, so we had to wash the road trip off the car. Went to my old car wash where I worked 20 years ago. I call it my car wash. It's not my car wash, but it's where I worked 20 years ago. It's one of those where you can walk on the inside and watch the car being washed through the windows. They detail it for you on the other side, and I used to do that. But it's always great to go back there and reminisce. But I went back to my old high school, and the seniors had customized some parking spaces. Look at that one in the middle there, Mazda for life, or Manual for life. It's got the Mazda logo in it. I like that. But had a great time. Went to Buc-ee's. If you guys have never been, I tell you what, you are missing out on a slice of life. Buc-ee's is a magical place. It is hard to describe without just saying, go there and be in awe and wonder. I've been there before in my Miata. I've been to lots of Buc-ee's all around the country, and there's probably one coming in near you. But go there, check that out. Buc-ee's really deserves its own video. But after our time in Denver, it was time to get up in the mountains. And if you guys don't know, Colorado's beautiful in the summertime. It's beautiful anytime, but notice that rainbow there on the left, and that's Pikes Peak there that we're headed up toward. We should look at this again. So we got Pikes Peak there in front of us on the road, and you see the rainbow on the far left. Just gorgeous up there. We actually were headed up to a cabin to stay a little above 9,000 feet. We made it there before sunset as well. And the view from this cabin was fantastic. It's so nice to get up there, get in that crisp mountain air, and just enjoy being away from everything. Man, it was fantastic. But the CX-5 did great going up there. All that altitude. We actually went up to about 10,000 feet on this trip, and the CX-5 did great. I was very thankful for the turbo, all that power, and it really did well even in the high altitude. So now, this here is 11 Mile Canyon, and I tell you what, if that bright blue sky contrasting against the different colors in the mountains up there does not just take your breath away, I don't know what will. Beautiful mountain stream, and I just love this place. When I lived in Colorado, I was very much a mountain person in the summer, much more than the winter. I know the winter sports are awesome, and the skiing and the snowboarding lures you up there, but summertime is what it is all about, and man, I love that sound. I could sit there on the rock and just watch that water all day long. But 11 Mile Canyon is up there by Lake George. It's west of Colorado Springs a little ways, and we really enjoyed our time. The CX-5 did fantastic. Gravel road the whole way up through this canyon. I tell you what, I really enjoyed sport mode in a lot of these areas. So sport mode, many modern cars, they're doing normal mode and eco mode and sport mode. And, you get a sense that the engineers who designed the car really sport mode is how they want the car to drive. But, it used to be you get a performance car back in the day, or a car with any kind of performance bent to it, and the car just was sport mode. That's what it was. A sports car was sport mode, but now you get in it, they have all these different modes so that you can get the good gas mileage if you want, but really you want to be in sport mode. I find myself using sport mode a lot, and it keeps you to where you can keep your revs up higher and you can spend more time in the gear that you want to be in, and that's really what I enjoy. So I did that. I did hit the paddles a little bit. Again, this is a 6-speed automatic. You have the paddle shifters that you can use, and you can dip into those at any moment in time, use them for a second, and then when the car senses you're not shifting anymore, it'll stay in drive mode. You don't have to go into manual mode to use those manual shifters, and the transmission in this car is especially smooth and awesome. Mazda's iActive all-wheel drive system again here, working great. Just the beautiful scenery. I'm trying not to get distracted by it again as I sit here and watch, but we really enjoyed our time up in the mountains with this car. Going on a trip, logging more seat time with the vehicle, you learn things. Because when you drive around town, you buy a car that's new and you spend 20-minute periods of time in it driving around town, you like it. The seats are great, and I like the way it drives and all that. But when you can spend hours and hours at a time in a car, do you still like it when you've been in it for 6, 7, 8 hours in a row? That'll really tell you if a car is worth its salt and if you made a good decision. And I'll tell you what, we made a great decision in buying this car to have long term. And I tell you what, something I discovered on this trip is I really finally found my seating position that I just love. I'd honestly been struggling to find it up until now because it's so different than the other vehicles that we've been having right now. But I finally found the sweet spot in my seating position because, this CX-5 sits up, again, a little higher than a CX-50. If you're going to look at a CX-50, the CX-50 is a little shorter and squattier. And the CX-5 has a unique kind of way that you sit and look out, but the visibility is great. We enjoyed being up in the mountains and being able to see all the way around. My kids could see great out of the back seat. That's one of the major reasons we chose the CX-5, because this back seat was up high enough to where my kids could see over those window sills. And we just enjoyed our time up here so much. I will also say that on the road trip here, we enjoyed using the ventilated seats. Even in the mountains in the middle of the day, you're up there in that sun, that direct sun, those ventilated seats were awesome. Now, again, this is the carbon trim. This is not premium or signature trim. You can go up there if you want. You can actually get heated rear seats. It's not ventilated rear seats, but you get heated rear seats. So as far as the functionality of the seats and spreading the love for everyone, this we don't have that. But this carbon trim has really been the sweet spot for me. You get a little bit of just enough of all the options that we wanted, and it's a great trim and a great spec. I'm so happy that we went with it. You'll see now here we're at the Garden of the Gods. We had such a wonderful time. This is just outside of Colorado Springs, and a beautiful, very unique place. It was so great to get in this car and go on our first big family adventure. Now, again, we came from a Honda Pilot, and I had an epiphany. I realized, wait a second, my kids aren't that small. I don't need all this small stuff. Let me have a smaller vehicle. And, oh my gosh, we were at the top of the tallest Ferris wheel in the world now. That's tallest by elevation, right? So this is at the North Pole. It's a little theme park in Colorado Springs, and it was really cool. We stopped there, and my kids got to do some driving in the mountains. Hey, look at that. But guys, we were able to fit everything in this car exactly how we needed to. It fit everything we needed. The cargo space in the back was plenty fine. We went on a 9-day trip. My daughter shot that photo of me and the polar bear at the North Pole. That was great. But I tell you what, I really didn't miss the space. I don't know about my kids, but we just had less stuff. I think everybody still felt like they had their own room and their own area in the car, and we quite enjoyed it. And then when we got in the mountains, it was so much better to drive than that bigger SUV, softer SUV that we had prior. But guys, that Colorado trip ended. We hit Quick Trip on the way out of town, went home. We had a short trip to Tulsa after that. Yes, we went here. That's the McDonald's over the highway. You got to go there when you're headed to Tulsa, right? We enjoyed that. But I tell you what, we've had this vehicle now for a while. There is a few accessories that we've had in the car. I've got these hooks there that have been great for hanging things, and we've put some seat protectors in the vehicle, to keep the kids from, kicking and putting their feet all over the leather. That has been a great thing as well for us. And then we got these little sunglasses hooks. Now, Obviously, there's a sunglass holder in the car already, but if you want to hold multiple pairs, we've got some added clips here for the visors that have been great. If you want to see full video reviews on these items and accessories we've got, go over to the other YouTube channel. The link is in the description. Drive It Out Go. That's right. That is our YouTube channel specifically for items that we find help us on our adventures as we live life on the go. But anyway, let's wrap things up here on episode 3 for our CX-5. All right, guys. I want to thank you again for watching this, but I do want to say one more thing in particular that I've noticed with this vehicle is we get a lot of comments and compliments on this car. People really like this vehicle. Whether I'm at the gas station or at the grocery store, just out somewhere with my family or getting together with friends, we have gotten so many compliments on this vehicle. And people in particular really like that color. I think it's especially sharp looking. I've mentioned that before, but I do think that the roof rack up there kind of really sets off the look. Something about that color and it blends rugged and sporty in a way that I think most people don't expect to see. So it has that going for it, and it's kind of striking to people. But guys, this has been episode 3. I will continue to drive this vehicle, and I will continue to use it for different things for my family. We do have another short trip coming up soon, and I am excited to continue to share with you my experiences with this vehicle long term. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to episode 4, and check out our other reviews here on the channel. We're getting lots of other vehicles, and there is more Mazda content as well. Thanks again for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. See you next time.